done in 2016. That was Dave Thomas's over here. Rights of Release. And it was done in basically a night and a day. Dave Thomas at the time was a local artist. He's now living up in Connecticut. I want you to look real closely at how this is done. Does anybody know what kind of ism this might be? Good, pointillism. Look closely at how he created the values on the hand. It was all with one finger, the thumb. So what he did was he projected it at night onto the wall. The outline was drawn. He filled in the black shapes, and then he came back on top the next day when he could see what he was doing, and he could put the dots on for the value. And he also held up his little iPhone, or whatever kind of phone he had, and he looked at the picture of his hand so he would be able to use it as a model. So this continues on, and you see the last crow or blackbird over here. Well, we absconded it in 2017, and Casey Klein Wisnam was the artist that did it. She's right here. She's a tour guide in training. So we're going to see two of them.
Sure. So the bird we wanted to, well, we were experimenting to see how it would look. We were initially have drips to go over the bird. And then once Derek and a few other artists, my artist angels that came out to help me, we decided we would make it very striking, and I actually made it glossy so it wasn't as flat looking. But we took water and paint, watered it down. I would go up and throw water and then help to marry the colors, and just basically did that for over 20 hours with different palettes and back and forth, and let that dry, and then created the rest. And the colors, all the colors are EGAD colors.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That was another. So the next piece is an example of surrealism, and a local artist, Jean Thomas, who lives in Eau Gallie, was the one that came up with this concept, and she calls it the Echo Verdi School Children's Mural, because she was always inspired by them walking around the neighborhood, learning their lessons by going out to the river and finding things that were at the river, going and planting crops that you would normally have in Florida, and learning about the area in that way. So she wanted to do something that was unexpected. That's why it's surrealistic. And you don't normally see fish behind you floating in our sky, but they were out day and rain, sunshine, whatever, and doing their thing. So, and then the one next to that is Jessica Neal. I think she's a member of your group, and she's also an interior decorator, I think. Yes. And she's former student of mine. And so she was supposed to do something that was an example of pattern art. So in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, pattern art got its start. And its motivation is from all the textures that you see in your clothing, or on the walls, or chairs, or whatever. So this is what she came up with. And then the next one down is by Chris Maslow. Chris Maslow is taking over the world and doing murals all over the place. He must have at least 4 in Eau Gallie, and I don't know how many downtown Melbourne. But the Indian chief was supposed to be one panel. He took the rest of the wall. So that's Chris's.